Welcome to National Sports Chat. This your man's Ken the Guru. You're now tuned in to my take. And before I give you my take, I would like to ask you guys to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. Hey, how y'all doing, man? So, look, I just want to say this. I thought racism was gone. I thought that people was just making up the fact that racism exists, and they just wanted to say that pretty much we just making excuses and all this other stuff. So I'm pretty sure by now that you guys have saw the excuse that you guys have saw the Ricky Hatton over the Deontay Wilder statue. Now, is that just a coincidence that Ricky Hatton will be over Deontay Wilder statue, the guy that got beat down by Mayweather? Is that just by coincidence, or is it more to it? Is it the hatred so much that the fight actually took place, and he's so upset that they will have a statue of Deontay Wilder laying flat on his back, right? And him standing over him like this. Is that just for show, or is it deeper than rap? I want to ask y'all that, because we know how y'all get when we say things like, oh, they racist. And then you got people like, shout out to you, Punch Drunk, who applauds a Jamel Charlo for basically ignoring the obvious, and applauds him and say, see, it's not about race. When you clearly see things that happens like what happened in the picture. So I guess it's another case of where we making stuff up, where we just looking too deep into stuff. And I guess it's not a possibility that a person like Ricky Hatton can be racist. So I just want to ask the question, why is racism still being ignored in boxing when it's so obvious? I want people to really answer that question. Why is racism still being ignored in the sport of boxing? Because we know it's happening. In fact, instead of you guys combating the fact that it happens, you will talk to the people and try to convince them that it's not happening in the sport of boxing. You spend more time trying to convince somebody that it's not happening, as opposed to combating it when it happens, when you see it. So you see a person like Ricky Hatton in the picture. I'm sorry, I guess they either didn't put it on the internet, or they took it off. But I tried to get the picture off the internet. But on the picture, you basically got Ricky Hatton, and you have a statue of Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, with Deontay Wilder leaning back. Then you have on side of that a statue of Deontay Wilder on the ground. And then you got Ricky Hatton standing right in right on the side of him, or behind him, right there. And basically he has his fist like this. Now, if you want to be a person that, poke fun at somebody, all right, that's cool. That's the sport of boxing. But this, I don't know, man. It stung just a little bit. And I have to call a spade a spade. Now, we already know, when we look at the history of people that's in London, right? Are people that's British. It's a long history of racism out there. So when people want to say, oh, it's rubbish, they're not rubbish about it. Nothing. So I don't want to just say that there's racism. I don't want to just say it. I don't want people to just say that I'm overlooking it. I want people to really look at the situation and be very sensitive about the situation and then say, why did somebody do that? I want you, because the stuff that happened in this world, warrants at least for the question to be asked. Why did you do that? I think we can at least ask that question. Why would you stand over this man? Why would a statue be built of Deontay Wilder flat on his back? And why would you be standing over him? I'm sorry. Like, you know, some people are able to just, oh, it's just fun and games. It's just this, is that, is this, right? Some people will say that we're just making things out of nothing, making something out of nothing, right? And that we're just basically we just fishing, as they would call in the U.S. We basically fishing, just meaning that we making up stuff, just looking for a headline, which that's not what we do. You know what I'm saying? I just want to know why. I would like to know that. The disrespect for Deontay Wilder is outrageous. And y'all wonder why I keep talking about Deontay Wilder. I don't know why his confidence really rubs y'all the wrong way. But to me, his confidence is what makes me like him. Y'all see this. The Deontay Wilder disrespect. Why do y'all disrespect a man who disrespect nobody? All he did was try to call out for the best fights. When he called out the best fights, people said that he didn't want the fight. And then when he tried to offer 50 million, they said that he was the ducker. When this man tried to fight Tyson Fury ran and had 2 tune-ups. And then when he fought him, nobody gave him a round outside of the 2 knockdowns, which is utterly ridiculous. Just shows a biased eye that you have. Because I can go and look at the fights, and I guarantee you that I can point out more than 6 rounds that Deontay Wilder run against Tyson Fury. And people up there talking the nonsense. Oh, well, Deontay Wilder only won 2. He only won 2 rounds. Out of 18, 19 rounds, he only won 2. Come on now. If the judging was left up to y'all, Deontay Wilder would be 0-42. Even with Deontay Wilder knocking the boxers out, y'all probably still say that he lost. Why do y'all have so much hate for anybody? This is not boxing. I just want y'all to know that. This is not you wanting to select somebody. This is genuinely your hatred for another human being. It's okay for everybody to be human when it's a racist situation. You want to say it's all humans are the same, but you don't display that naturally. You hate a man because of his confidence in the race, in the color of his skin. Because if Deontay Wilder skin was the same as Tyson Fury, I guarantee you the treatment would be very different. If you put Tyson Fury in Deontay Wilder's skin, y'all will be saying Tyson Fury is a bum. Tyson Fury talks too much. Tyson Fury ain't that good. Oh, this person could beat him. y'all be saying Wilder can beat Tyson Fury if he was Tyson Fury's color. So why is it your hatred for another man so strong when he ain't literally did nothing to nobody? None of y'all know him. That's sick. You literally got to be a sick individual to not like somebody just because this person is confident within himself and love his own culture. Don't you love your culture? So does that make you a sick person? Does that mean that you're a bad person? No. I don't know what's the big deal about black individuals uniting and it being a big deal. It's just like some people just don't like the thought. And for instance, you got the gentlemen, like I keep mentioning, the LDBC, a bunch of brothers taking up for another group of, African Americans hit their culture, and people have an issue with that. Why? Is it the unity? Y'all want him to like everybody except for the black fighters when the Mexicans can like Mexicans? There be no issue. White individuals can like white fighters. Whatever other ethnicity can like their own ethnicity, and it's no problem. But when you got a person and people like the LDBC loving their own culture, you got an issue with that. Why? Y'all sick, man. Y'all need to love people instead of what they look like. Y'all need to love people for who they are instead of what they look like. Y'all do know that Deontay Wilder make the heavyweight look very exciting. Y'all know without Deontay Wilder, the heavyweight is boring. Hey, take that over here. Take that in there. Take that in the room. Y'all know that looks very, very boring without Deontay Wilder. So if you know that the heavyweight fight wouldn't be as exciting with Deontay Wilder, why would you shun the man? Why would y'all disrespect the man? Why wouldn't y'all give this man any type of praises? Why? That's sick. That's sick. This man is being disrespected. All the knockouts that this man had, they didn't make a post like that for Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury was on his back literally for probably like 13 seconds. They gave that man a gifted decision. They gave him a gifted decision to allow him to get up after an 8-second count. For sure. There was no 8-second standing count. But he was gifted. That man was allowed at least 5 extra seconds to get up. He don't have a statue. Nobody will acknowledge the fact that Tyson Fury got a longer extended time to get up. But they would say Wilder only won 2 rounds. Come on now. We already know better than that. Hey, Wilder, man, stay focused, stay humble, stay you. Don't allow nobody to dictate who you are. As a man and as a person, your confidence is warranted and is needed, especially for our community. Other people can have pride in their own culture, but when you see individuals such as myself, like Wilder, or anybody else that display any sort of confidence, that automatically spew hatred out of other individuals. Why? And then a lot of times they don't even like certain fighters, other fighters, but they'll use that fighter to degrade a person like Wilder. For instance, they'll use a Jamel Charlo to combat the behavior or the confidence displayed or anything that Deontay Wilder says. They would use Jamel Charlo words to try to combat what Wilder said because they can't say it themselves without looking racist. So I have to ask the question again. Why is racism still being ignored in the sport of boxing? Why is it that when something that goes on, y'all talk about the actual fighter, y'all talk about what the person that's talking about what happened, y'all talk about them instead of the actual action of what happened. So Deontay Wilder gets disrespected, show a display of racism, but y'all will come at a person like me and say, oh, why are you talking about race? Instead of combating the actual action of what caused me to talk about race. So if you're really that sick of racism, why aren't you talking to the people that you know are racist? Why? You so tired of it, right? Are you tired of us spotlighting the fact that it's continuing to happen? You want to break somebody. You want all Black individuals to be submissive and to show humility for your own confidence. But this man refused to bend or break. Good. So now that just brings me along, which is why I'm talking about this gentleman, because he's dangerous too. I'm talking about Stephen A. Smith. And why I say he will be gone soon. Stephen A. Smith, like I said, a very, 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 very long time ago. He's dangerous. He's a person that straddled the fence. He takes up for all general managers and executive and owners. But he degraded his own. See, you can use a Stephen A. Smith to talk about a Deontay Wilder. Stephen A. Smith has been degrading Black individuals. He have been messing with their paychecks. He have been responsible for taking millions out of multiple Black individuals' mouths. And this man, it shows that he has a difference in how he talks about certain demographics. He don't talk about white individuals like he does Black individuals. There's a very difference in aggression. There's a very difference in how he approaches the situation. And when he talks about a white individual, it's always in a very soft tone and with a possible outlet with a little dose of sympathy attached to it. But not for Le'Veon Bell or LeGarrette Blount. They don't get that. Not for Kevin Durant. They don't get that. Not for Kyrie Irving. They don't get that. But he know if he talks that much about a LeBron James, he's out of there. So why is he choosing to battle all these brothers when he so-called stands for them? That man been straddling the fence for years. So you got to get people like that out of there, man. Nobody has your best interest at heart. This man went on show, talked about how weak Deontay Wilder was, But he never went back when Deontay Wilder displayed that he was cheated, when Deontay Wilder said that Tyson Fury gloves was altered. You didn't hear about Stephen A. Smith. In fact, Stephen A. Smith went on air to beg Deontay Wilder not to accept the fight. Come on, man. You don't want that. Let Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua fight and then come back. That's how you do it. Ignore the fact that this man been cheated. Ignore the fact that this man has a dent in his face. Ignore the fact that this man has been butchered by the media. But when he wins the arbitration, now you got the Stephen A. Smiths in the world trying to convince Deontay Wilder to step aside after ignoring and saying nothing about the possibility of Tyson Fury cheating or about the possibilities of Tyson Fury's glove being altered, how they don't look right. How can your gloves make this certain angle when your wrist incapable of doing so? That man didn't come out and say anything. But the minute he won that arbitration, Deontay Wilder, you should step aside. So you got people like that, man, who very dangerous, man. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, I'm for everybody. I love everybody. Anybody that knows me know that that I care for humans, care for people. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't. You wouldn't catch me being anything less than confidence within myself. Can't nobody define me. You can have an opinion, but your opinion don't mean that it's fact. So, I mean that's it's just sad, man. It's sad. So that's all I got for now, man. It's your man Ken the Guru, man. You know, make sure y'all go to all platforms, all social media platforms. On IG at National Sports Chats with an S at the end. Here, National Sports Chat. And also make sure y'all go to TOV Sports. TOV Sports. And make sure y'all go subscribe there also, man. As a social media partner of ours, you know, we continue to bring best content. And a lot of times I don't talk about certain things because I didn't already set the, you know, already planted the seed. I planted the seed and I just watched it grow. So like I already told y'all, Deontay Wilder was being hit piece by the media. Told y'all that months ago before he even came out and said anything. And what happened? Media is now mad and still hit piecing Wilder. They said everything except for he was the son of God. You know what I'm saying? They said everything about this man except for he is a father. They said all these things about this man, and he took it. And now that they don't get media time, they mad. So, you know, it is what it is, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. I'm out. Subscribe to the channel.